the NYU speech, that Bass God thing is online? Email it to me. Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and time for an album review, Lotus Plaza Spooky Action at a Distance. Lotus Plaza is the solo project of Deerhunter member Lockett Pundt, and after a debut solo album that covered a lot of ground in all things dreamy, glistening ambient soundscapes, shoegazy pop rock tunes, on his sophomore LP right here, he seems to be limiting his scope a little bit, kind of moving in a direction that reminded me of the last Atlas Sound album, Parallax. Of course, Atlas Sound is the solo project of another Deerhunter member of Deerhunter with songwriting duties, Bradford Cox. I did review Parallax and I wasn't really that into what it had to offer, mostly because to me it was a little less experimental, adventurous, and not that being straightforward or catchy is bad, but the stripped down and accessible songs that Bradford was putting onto this album just reminded me a lot of Deerhunter songs. Deerhunter songs that weren't completely fleshed out or colored in. And this Lotus Plaza album to me is kind of feeling the same way. And yeah, of course, Lockett Pundt is in Deerhunter and writes songs for Deerhunter, and I think it is a little unreasonable to expect that there is no influence or cross-pollination going on. But with clear production value and more of a focus on just churning out tunes that have verses and choruses, this new Lotus Plaza LP to me just kind of feels like an assembly of B-sides from the album Microcastle. There are lots of hypnotically played guitar arpeggios on this thing, drums that have a really snappy timbre to them. And on most of the songs on this thing, the guitars, the bass, the drums are all kind of hitting this quarter note groove, pushing these songs along at a really easygoing tempo. Songs like Strangers, Out of Touch, or Dusty Roads, nearly all the songs on this thing to me just end up sounding like Deerhunter tracks that would have been produced with heavier or more psychedelic or more lush sounds if it had been an official band project. Maybe there would even be more instrumentation, a lot like that song Coronado from the band's last LP, Halcyon Digest, that had a really nice saxophone on it. Instead, a song like Strangers just kind of repeats the same guitar and drum phrases over and over and over again until the song basically slows down to an underwhelming halt. A lot of tracks on here kind of hammer out the same idea for 4 to 6 minutes. It's with really apathetically played drums and guitars. What's worse is that nearly everything on here is soaked in so much reverb, I just kind of feel like it's hiding the lack of sounds and instrumentation and melodies and musical ideas this album actually has. Only a few tracks on this thing really stand out to me. The song Out of Touch has a pretty blissful chorus. The way the guitars kind of shine in on the hook with that thing really climax that track. The track White Galactic has a touch of synthesizer in it. I think these really high-pitched tones matched up with these very bright guitar leads make it stick out for me a bit. And I really like the acoustic approach of the last track. It felt really intimate in comparison to all the other songs on here. Those are pretty much the highlights for me. The other songs on here, while they don't feel terrible to me, at best they just kind of feel likable, polite. A lot of people out there love Deerhunter, and it makes it easy for them to love this record. And the thing is, I love Deerhunter, but that's why it makes it hard for me to like this record. On Deerhunter albums, Lockett's songs, especially on the last Deerhunter LP, have so much more character to them. The track Don't Cry from Halcyon Digest just sways back and forth in this really intoxicating way that I love. And there is reverb on that track too, but there's also a lot of clarity to the point where you can really pull the story out of the lyrics. The track Fountain Stairs resembles a lot of tracks on this LP a lot, but the timbre of the guitars is much nicer on that. They have a very Velvet Underground kind of quality to them, and just lull me into a trance so much easier. Because of how much closer Lotus Plaza has moved to sounding like Deerhunter material with this LP, I can't help but make the comparison. And truth is, I'm just not enjoying this as much. There's a bit of variety on this album. There's a piano here, a keyboard there, a drum machine pops up. Maybe a couple songs are a bit faster than others, but this album does not really keep me excited or enchanted throughout. Still, Lockett's songs, his hooks especially, are pretty good, but as a listening experience from beginning to end, this album just feels a bit monotonous to me. Maybe Cal disagrees though, I don't know. Cal, Lotus Plaza.
Sounds like a reason to call the exterminator.
And there you have it. Kind of feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this thing. Thought it was okay. What did you guys think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Anthony Fantano, Lotus Plaza, forever.